Yo, what's going on, everyone? Hope everyone is having a fantastic week. Today, we're going to be talking about XRP and discuss again why this coin is possibly a time-ticking bomb for a massive explosion to the upside based on just a theoretical outlook using the Elliott Wave Theory. As we have been discussing for the past month or two in my previous videos, XRP is still within a massive consolidating pattern known as the triangle. This is not only a general pattern that many anticipate from the general markets, but it is also a very important pattern when it comes to the Elliott Wave pattern and toolbox of patterns that we can start to utilize. Now, the subwaves of the triangle is starting to look like it's being created with military precision and is subdivided into 5 subwaves where the waves is denoted as an A, B, C, D, E, respectively. So far, we are at peak validation for this current outlook for the possible anticipated triangle breakout. Now, in terms of the targets, it's very clear when you have the triangle assumed completed. We measure the final breakout target by using what is known as the post-triangle thrust measurement. The term post-triangle thrust measurement in the Elliott Wave Theory refers to the price movement that follows the completion of the triangle pattern. As stated earlier, it is often within a wave 4 of a 5-wave impulse or 5-wave pattern, or within a wave B in a corrective wave structure. Ultimately, we can even say that we are in a wave B if we really want to take symmetry into consideration. So you can say that this is a wave A and this is a wave B respectively, and we can also be working for a primary wave C to the upside depending on how you are seeing the macro structure. Now, the thrust measurement in itself for the triangle, once the triangle is complete as we do have here, it is expected that there will be a sharp price movement, which is characteristic of a breakout, and it's known as the thrust, quote unquote, in the direction of the larger trend. In this case, we're looking for a 5th wave, like I said, or a wave C to the upside. Now, the post-triangle thrust measurement aims to predict the distance or extent of the thrust to complete the breakout pattern. And to estimate the thrust, we use the height of the widest part of the triangle, which is the base. This height is then projected in the direction of the breakout for the triangle. You measure the triangle's height at the widest point, which is usually at the start of wave A to the wave B. And then you project this height from the point where the triangle breaks out, which is the end of wave E. This idea is that the price will thrust at least the distance equivalent to the height of the measured move. So we're looking at a very conservative target of around $5 to $10, even $5 being less than the projected breakout possibility based on the thrust measurement. So if that happens in an impulsive wave, if the triangle forms as a wave 4 like we have here in the primary wave 4 in the yellow, the post-triangle thrust is going to be as a target for the wave 5, which is typically going to be sharp and in the direction of the larger trend. In a corrective wave, similarly, if the triangle forms as a wave B, like I mentioned, the post-triangle thrust target is going to be the wave C. This technique helps traders anticipate the price movement after a period of consolidation in a triangle pattern, providing a target level for the thrust. So in terms of the simple technical analysis, there is also paramount evidence such as higher lows being created within a 6 to 7 year accumulation. This is massive news on top of fundamental community backing. So based on not just fundamental community backing, we are seeing a lot of basic, simple technical analysis being built up on top of what we can see from an Elliott Wave perspective. So this move here on the macro structure is looking phenomenal. So if we take a look at the zoomed in perspective for the final part of how we can be expecting for that possible wave E being completed, we've also discussed in the previous videos, but just to kind of quickly recap, again, this 3-wave move for that final part of that C or wave E of the triangle, this is now assumed complete. It's still going to be very bullish above this wave E. Anything below this, we're going to have to start kind of getting nervous about what kind of pattern it may be if we're going to be still seeing it as a bull structure. But right now, bulls really, really want to be staying above this line here or the green line. And we do have a soft invalidation level here where it's still valid until we stay above this level here, or until we break it rather, and anything above this line is going to be extremely bullish for that continuation pattern to happen for that triangle thrust measurement pattern. So if this is a case, we're looking for an ABC or a WXY, just depending on how you want to see it. I have it here for educational purposes, but the most important thing is that the final resolution phase for that wave C of this wave Y or C based on that wave E of that triangle is that we do have a completed 5-wave move to the downside. And most importantly, this 70% move that we had from a few weeks ago was the icing on the cake, basically kind of giving us the most confident booster for this possible breakout that we're looking at, especially now that we're retesting the larger BD trend line. Again, going back on the larger time frames, the BD trend line is that top part of that bullish structure of the triangle, and alternatively, the BD trend line is going to be the bottom if you're in a bearish structure. But right now, since we're talking about the bullish structure, this BD trend line is that we're retesting this line here over and over, and usually, respectively, you will have the more times you retest it, the eventual breakout will happen. And we've been retesting this many times. So there's a possible good chance that we're going to eventually break it. So going back into the smaller time frames for the wave counts, we had a very clear 70% move off the lows, which is deemed as impulsive. It's definitely not a 3-wave structure. We have a pretty clear 5-wave move going up into the primary wave 1. Alternatively, just a little bit more advanced, we could have this as a possible termination point here, where we have this as an ABC flat, and then we have another 5-wave move up into that intermediate degree wave 1, as we're working with the hierarchy of degrees and we're working in the lower structures here. Nothing too much to talk about. It's a lot of it's a lot of mess going on here for XRP on the shorter time frames. When you're really taking into consideration for the shorter time frames, it's really not worth talking about. But the macro is starting to look like this is a wave 1, 2 that's now being completed, and we're working for an extension, basically working for another 5-wave move within that primary wave 3, and that'll be the extended wave, and that'll be the 3, 4, 5 up into surpassing that $1 range, which is going to be giving us even more confidence that this is going to be a larger move to the upside. So we're still in the beginning phase, but again, remember, the beginning phase is possibly just the end of how this larger bullish structure has ended out, and this is going to be a very massive breakout because we've been accumulating for the past 6 or 7 years. So with that being said, if we take a look into even the shorter time frames even more, this 5-wave move up into a wave 1 of the intermediate degree is now complete, just like similarly we had for this 5-wave move up into the primary wave 1. Whether you're seeing this as a sharp or a possible flat structure, both are even very well respected in terms of Fibonacci, especially even for the flat. We hit the maximum target of that 2.618 level, or the 261.8% Fibonacci level, when you're taking it for the partner leg for wave A and C. And we also hit the normal Fibonacci retracement zone of that 78.6 on the dot. We got a huge support breakout on here, and then we got this subwave 1 being complete as an impulse in itself as well on the lower degree. So if that's the case, we're also looking for this to be a very controlled pullback, or it looks like a very controlled pullback as a WXY. We're seeing this as a possible multiple zigzag pattern. Again, even the multiple zigzag pattern is showing us a very clear good zone in terms of the targets for this extension in terms of the Fibonacci trend extension when you're taking it for the partner leg for this wave W against this wave Y. But again, the most important thing is that we also hit the 61.8%, which is a major Fibonacci zone in terms of the Fibonacci retracements. In terms of support, we also have another 5-wave move possibly being here, or we are in still a wave 3, and we may be working in a possible triangle before we have one more move to the upside for a 5-wave move, pullback, and then we're out of here. Otherwise, we can conversely say that this is a B, C, and we have this move here as a flat, and we're going to be looking for a minor or a smaller degree below this intermediate degree. We're going to be looking for a 1-2 pullback, and then we're out of here. Again, we have a lot of soft invalidations that haven't even been hit, so it's even more bullish right now as we speak, because we haven't broken this previous low here, nor have we haven't broke this green level here. As long as we stay above this green line, it's going to be extremely bullish. So with that being said, we're still looking, if you look at it from a bottom up or a top down analysis, everything is starting to puzzle out perfectly. We're looking for a massive move to the upside. If this is the overall kind of expected case in terms of the triangle post measurement based on the widest part of the triangle is giving us a target of around at a minimum $5, which is not even the actual target of the post triangle thrust measurement. We're looking at around $10 right on the dot. So we would expect a larger pullback. But who knows, could even further extend. As you know, you never know how these crypto markets are going to be going, especially that there's a possible bull market impending for us for a possible move to the upside for a lot of altcoins, especially when you're looking at the Bitcoin dominance. It's starting to consolidate. A lot of the dominance is looking like it's going to be breaking down very soon. So hopefully that was helpful, ladies and gentlemen. If you guys are interested in seeing another video or join the Patreon or even Discord, please don't hesitate to contact me. The link is in the description below. We also have a lot of updates happening on the daily or on bi-daily within our social media on X at XForceGlobal. Please come say hi. Thank you very much. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.